People squad, here we are. Let's have a bit of a chat about how we went this week. 880 was the score with 15 players. So, 62 points better than my team with 2 less players. So, that says something, that's for sure. A lot of the guys in here obviously scored pretty well. We had Averillo, so anyone who doesn't have Averillo, like myself, get smashed, obviously. So, that's that there. But yeah, no Teddy, no Trebojevic, well, Schuster, Cleary, and Spencer obviously didn't make the cut in the end, which was annoying for my team also. But yeah, Brayley, Papali, Watson, Harris is the same 4 as what I had. Pengai and Fafita. So it's really cool to see Fafita score really well, even with 35 minutes on the park. The best halves combo of the week, apart from DCE, Moses and Averillo. Really, really strong efforts. Actually, Hughes got 76, so there's a bunch of good ones. Just I don't have them, obviously, with a -4, Mr. Dewey. Not salty at all, by the way, guys. I've only mentioned it 7 times. Peachy Olam, 51.43. So good to see him return and still lose some money. Good work, Justin. Nico and Laurie. So that's there with the starters. And then Flegs, Crichton, and Gamble. And Flegler wasn't one that worked out in the end. And that's just another lesson learned. I did speak about him as someone that we probably shouldn't look to pick up in our squads. So go me for picking that one. But if we look at the last bunch of weeks, he did get that 56, right? In round 9, and then everyone starts speaking about him. It's like, well, beautiful, we got to pick him up. He's a gun, yeah? Let's have a look at all his previous scores. Not once did he get over a point a minute, right? 41, 49, 28, 33, 33 and 49, 15, 22, 33, 34, 19, 27, blah, blah, blah. You get the gist, right? He comes out and absolutely dominates against the Cowboys in round 9, and everyone's like, you got to pick him up. He's going to make so much money. Okay, 35, 39, 31, 45, 33. Right? Not great in the grand scheme of things, right? His last 5 average, what does that give us? General stats. Last 5, so 36. Is that going to make him much cash? No. He only made a tiny bit, right? This is what happens with these mid-tier guys. We bought him at just under 400, and he hasn't made that much for us, or scored really well. Yes, we got his round 13 score, but it was nothing to write home about. So that's just an example of another example of the kind of guys that we want to try and avoid, unless they got a super amount of talent. Like you look at someone like Reece Walsh, and we go, okay, well, that was kind of pretty clear, right? Came in, played a couple of decent games, and you're like, is it going to be a fluke or not? And then when you watch him, he's actually completely involved in every sort of play. He's kicking, he's he's running the ball. He just wants his hands on the ball at all times. He obviously got the return kicks out of return kicks. Things like that. So they're the kind of guys you want to be looking at. And if you looked at Averillo a bunch of weeks ago, when, yes, a bunch of us traded him out, like myself, still regret it to this day, but we trade him out. He comes back in, Flanagan gets dropped, and he becomes the number 7, which meant he was doing all the kicking. And you're like, you could have been really smart then and go, yep, I'm going to pick him up now because he's going to start to do really, really well. Yes, we didn't think he'd do as well as this. We didn't think he'd average 75 over the last 5 rounds. But you could have expected somewhere near a 50 average for a dominant half in this game. 50 plus, right? Would be very smart to think about in this one. So with someone like Flegs, it was like, oh, these minutes are going to be half there, 40 odd, but he's never been a super duper scorer. So, do you decide to pick him up? And we did, and now he's going to be someone that we need to trade out over the next few weeks. And at that price point, it's very hard to find someone. I was speaking about Madison and Leilua and these types of guys in the previous video there. If you look at Leilua's scores, you can go, okay, last year he averaged a bit over 50, and that was his first proper season in the second row. This year he was averaging 56. I pick him up and he starts going backwards from there. So that's more of an unlucky one, I'd say, because he has the runs on the board and he has the pedigree to be able to go, all right, he's going to be a keeper. Let's keep hold of him. Whereas someone like Flegs doesn't have that. So yeah, that's enough of a rant on that one. Pangai Jr. is going to be a bit up and down, but we're fine with that. Fafita's a gun for the year. Moses Averillo, same thing. At this stage, Peachy, again, has the runs on the board when he plays 13, averages mid-40s. Olam is a fairly new one. This year he's started to score his best this year. Yes, that includes a lot of attacking stats and stuff like that. And we've been burnt with Justin, unfortunately. So again, another one of those guys in that lot of 3 to 400 tier, or 450 or 500, or whatever we brought him at, that just doesn't have the runs on the board that, and same with Flegler, didn't have that. When you look at other guys like Laurie, it's like it's just his rookie season. He's in a team that's not great, so he's kind of he outperformed himself at the start of the year, and now he's slowed down a fair bit. to have an average of 42.9, which was up near a 50, 47, 47, 46 for a while there. Yeah, in terms of this team going forward, what do you guys think? Where should we go? We didn't actually make any trades again last week, so yeah, just never really found anyone to make trades to, and it probably is a good thing if we can sit around that 1400 mark and still have 17 trades left. I think that's pretty rare. I don't think many teams have that at this stage, but we will have to start building towards this 17. We've got Walsh in there as a great option. We have Tohu Harris, so they're really good. Schuster's going to play. In terms of other guys that will be playing in that one, we've got Averillo, and that's really it, isn't it? Yeah. So I only got 4 players at this stage that are going to be playing in 17. So we're going to have to build to that. And yes, we missed out on CHN this week, but it actually worked out okay because he didn't score too well. So he's one option that should be solid. I think we should probably look at targeting Ramian as a upgrade in our center position, and then we could have Olam as just some cover if we wanted to. So yeah, maybe we don't have to trade Olam. Maybe we can trade a Dane Laurie, for example, and still use Hines, Teddy, Tommy, and Reece Walsh as our wing fullbacks. Cleary comes into the half position, but then we have Averillo that we could use in the centers too. So that's something else to think about. It's like, well, do we want 4 centers or do we use Averillo as our half cover with the mixture of Gamble and mixture of having Gamble in there as your third half. If one of them is out, I don't think is that smart because he could be out of the team at any point. So that's some interesting options there. In terms of other guys that are going to be playing 17. What do you guys think? There's a bunch of guys like Luke Thompson just didn't score as well on the weekend, but how many guys are in that top sort of bracket that are going to be playing in 17? And there's not a lot. Sean Johnson's another one, but again he's a half, and do we need another half at this stage? There's just not a lot of incredible options going through that list there. So CHN could be an option. Do we want to pull that trigger on him or not? Completely up to us, and we'll have a Ramian's in there. We'll have a look at that in the Discord group. So if you haven't joined that, please find a way to do so. I'll just ask me in the comments. I'll pop in that Discord link there. But yeah, team's looking pretty solid overall. I obviously had a bunch of big dogs on the bench this week, and to be able to score well, I think is a really strong effort. So that's that with the People Score, guys. Let me know what you think. Please hit like and subscribe, and we'll go from there, guys. Have a good day. See you soon.